On the news, Air Force destroys ISWAP base as Army Chief lauds renewed efforts against insurgents. PDP reign in Bayelsa under question following allegations of certificate forgery by Deputy Governor. And Israel-Lebanon record first coronavirus cases. The Nigerian, many thanks for joining us on News Now on TV360 Nigeria. The Nigerian Air Force fighter aircraft have bombed locations of the Islamic State West Africa Province fighters in the Boko Haram area of Lake Chad in the northern part of Borno State. The NAF Director of Public Relations and Information, Air Commodore Ibikunle Darmala, says that the interdiction was carried out by the Air Task Force of Operation Lafia Adole as part of the ongoing Operation Rattlesnake 3. Darmala said the interdiction was conducted on the ISWAP locations after intelligence reports indicated an increase in activities in the settlements with the observation of more terrorist fighters operating in the area. The Chief of Army Staff, Tukur Buratai, have expressed confidence that Nigeria will soon record a total victory in ending the menace of the Boko Haram insurgency and the Islamic West Africa Province ISWAP in just a matter of days. Buratai expressed the confidence while commending troops of Operation Lafia Adole for their ongoing counter-insurgency operations in the northeast. The Army Chief says the renewed efforts has inspired more confidence and hope in the troops by Nigerians. He added that his confidence in total victory has further been rekindled by the dogged determination of the troops on the ground. The Chairman, Senate Committee on Army, Senator Ali Ndume, has rejected the newly introduced bill set to create an agency for repentant Boko Haram insurgents. The lawmaker made this known while speaking during an interview on Friday. In his reaction, Ndume said the bill is outrightly unacceptable and his colleagues know his position on this. He added that the idea of the bill will only make Boko Haram members and have more recruits since they are sure of rehabilitation and reintegration into society. A bill to set up an agency to rehabilitate repentant insurgents passed first reading at the Nigerian Senate on Thursday, drawing mixed reactions from the lawmakers. An Abuja area court has ordered the Department of State Services to probe Lawrence Ekhujapo, Deputy Governor of Bayelsa, over allegations of certificate forgery. Benjamin Udowe, an APC chief in Bayelsa State, had approached the area court in Lugbe, Abuja, alleging that Ekhujapo presented a forged NYC exemption certificate dated February 2nd, 1998, to the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. The court also issued a bench warrant for the arrest of the deputy governor following his failure to appear in court. Until his swearing-in, Ekhujapo was the senator representing Bayelsa West Senatorial District. He was inaugurated alongside the state governor, Adoyediri, following February 14, 2020 judgment of the Supreme Court, which nullified the victory of the All Progressives Congress and its candidates in the last governorship election in Bayelsa. Kaduna State High Court has discharged and acquitted 100 members of the Islamic Movement in Nigeria, IMN, who were arraigned on charges bordering on culpable homicide, destruction of public properties, among others. The IMN members, who have been in jail since 2015, were accused of killing one army sergeant during a clash with soldiers in 2015. Ruling on the matter, the judge agreed with the defense team that the defendants had no case to answer. IMN leader Ibrahim Zadaki is also standing trial on the same charges for which these men were acquitted today. Mariam Sanda, a woman found guilty of stabbing her husband to death, has asked the Court of Appeal in Abuja to set aside the death sentence pronounced on her. The Federal Capital Territory High Court had found Sanda guilty of killing her husband, but in her appeal, Sanda claimed that she was denied fair hearing. She contended that the conviction was based on circumstantial evidence without evidence of witnesses, lack of confessional statements, absence of murder weapon, lack of corroboration by evidence by two witnesses, and lack of autopsy report to determine the true cause of her husband's death. Consequently, she asked the appellate court to acquit her. No date has been fixed for hearing in the matter. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, would soon introduce critical changes in the way it conducts elections in Nigeria. INEC Chairman Mahmoud Yakubu says the actions were necessary to strengthen Nigeria's electoral processes and procedures. The INEC boss made this known at a meeting with the resident electoral commissioners in Abuja. Yakubu added that the commission is collaborating with security agencies in the country to review deployment during elections.
Party primaries for the democratic election and nomination of candidates for the governorship election in Edo must be held from the 2nd to the 27th of June 2020. The date for Ondo is 2nd to 25th July 2020. The Commission will not extend the dates. We will also vigorously monitor the primaries and, where necessary, apply sanctions as provided by law. At the same time, the personal particulars of all the candidates nominated by political parties for the Edo and Ondo governorship elections, including their academic qualifications, will be displayed in our offices in the two states as required by law. This will enable citizens to scrutinize and take legal action against any candidate who provides false information to the Commission. The personal particulars of candidates will be displayed on 6 July 2020 in Edo State and 4th August 2020 in Ondo State. I wish to appeal to citizens to note the dates and to seize the opportunity to scrutinize the information provided on oath by the candidates in the interest of our democracy and good governance.
The National Broadcasting Commission says it has no intention to deny Nigerians of their rights of expression or gag broadcast outfits from performing their duties. Acting Director General of the National Broadcasting Commission, Armstrong Idachaba, said this at his first official media briefing after resuming office last week. Tunji Oye has more in this report.
Professor Armstrong Idachaba assumed office last week after the suspension of former Director General Modibo Kawu. In this first media brief, the Acting Director General of NBC re-emphasized the need for the industry players to self-regulate and not wait for regulator to use the big stick. The NBC did not forget to discuss the menace of social media and how it is affecting national cohesion, peace, and progress.
No matter what freedom you have, the content you deliver, if it becomes harmful, government has a responsibility to begin to look at it and find ways to mitigate the impact. Now, all the major social media companies are already self-regulating on their own without laws because they are seeing how harmful unregulated content can be. You remember the New Zealand killing? A guy just took his camera, went to a mosque where they were killing people, and he was streaming it live. People that were being shot point to point. That's a dastardly content. It will be allowed. You must have also known that now if you are putting some hateful comment, if you are sending message, very abusive hateful comment, your grandfather, idiot, you do it 3-4 times, the Facebook will automatically delete. Yes, and governments all over the world are holding social media companies to account. Zuckerberg, many Google guys, they have been invited to parliament in America. And those are the examples of a free democracy. So the point we are making, the social media and any other media for that matter will continue to remain free and vibrant. And we are saying, look, for we in Nigeria, and don't forget Nigeria will have our own peculiar challenges. Violence, occasioned by religion, ethnicity, insurrections within the country.
Politicians may not be able to achieve campaign of calumny if the broadcasters don't put such content on their platforms. So most of the time, the issue is the broadcasters. I mean, they are the ones who broadcast this hate campaign against the other political party to us. So NBC is very, very strict on such things. And sanctions for electoral misbehavior on the platform of a broadcaster attracts Class A sanction. Now, Class A sanction from the 6th broadcasting code, from the 6th edition of the broadcasting code, attracts as high as 20 million naira.
The regulator says it will continue to uphold standard in the broadcast industry for national unity and development. From Abuja, Tunji Oye, TV360 News.
The Osun State Council of Traditional Rulers on Friday slammed a 6-month suspension on Olowo of Iwo Oba Abdurrashid Akombi over alleged violence on another monarch. The council, presided over by the Oni of Ife, Oba Adeyeye Ogunwusi, also constituted a committee to further investigate the matter. Oba Akombi is accused of physically attacking Oba Akinroko during a peace meeting of Obas to settle a land dispute in Iwo last week, an allegation he has since denied. The development is coming days after monarchs under the Iwo Traditional Council staged a protest to demand the immediate suspension of the Olowo of Iwo. News Now will be right back after this.
Whilst the crash knows recently pressed to the right from protected the problem nothing.
That the electoral outcome was born, and Nigerians have been reacting to the
local area of Lagos as early as 7 a.m. Some minutes past the incident has been managed.
headquarters this morning to display how
In the last 3 years, we have built a multi-purpose center, which is the envy of all in our constituency. And I can tell you that the people who are living there are already enjoying it.
Guy, do you think what this man just said is true? See, I seriously doubt. I'm sure it's one of those their silly lies.
And wait, do you know there's a way to find out if these things he's saying is true or not? This is the Construct app. It gives people like us a sure way to track implementation of constituency projects. It gives valid and verified information on location of projects, amounts allocated, amount funded, the level of job done, and even the profiles of concerned legislators. You and I can post directly on this app.
Are you serious?
This is the Go-To app if you want to know how our Commonwealth is being expanded by the government.
Wow. Let's even see if what this man said is true. Show me.
The Construct app is developed by Other People Nigeria with support from USAID and is available on both Google Play Store and Apple Store.
And it's true.
Of course, I told you.
Welcome back, and we have Fidelia Aguncha for the latest business stories.
Thank you, Annetta. Foreign airlines have resumed operations at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport in Lagos after the installation of a Category 3 instrument landing system. Minister of Information Lai Mohammed confirmed this to newsmen on Friday. Foreign and local flight operations at the Lagos airport have been disrupted in recent times due to a Hamilton haze that affected visibility, but Mohammed said the newly installed navigational aid would help aircraft land in almost zero visibility situations. The minister explained that the upgrade was a show of the federal government's commitment to passenger safety and security. The Federal Executive Council FEC has approved the establishment of agricultural processing zones in each senatorial district across the country. This was disclosed by the Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Adeniyi Adebayo, while briefing State House correspondents at the end of the weekly FEC meeting in Abuja on Thursday. Adebayo said the Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment has already employed consultants to access what agricultural processing zone will be set up in each senatorial zone and that government was working to provide credit investors through the Bank of Industry. 10 million medium and small-scale enterprises are picked to benefit from the proposed credit scheme.
One of the priorities given to us is the activation of the private sector-led 6 special economic zones, and that already is in progress. We are engaging with the private sector people with regards to those special economic zones, with a view to government investing and taking the lead in the creation of these special economic zones. With regards to one issue that has been in the headlines lately, and that's the establishment of agro-processing zones in each senatorial district. The ministry is already working on that. We have employed consultants who are going around and looking at each of the senatorial districts with a view to knowing what agricultural processing zone will be set up in each of these areas. We're working to ensure that we provide credit through the Bank of Industry to 10 million medium and small-scale enterprises. We are trying to raise $500 million from the African Development Bank for technological innovation.
Oil prices slipped 1.5% on Friday as fears over the spread of the coronavirus outside of China mounted, and the economic data began to show the extent of the epidemic's impact. Brent crude fell 1.5% to $58.42 a barrel, and West Texas Intermediate crude dropped 1.5% as well to trade at $53.07 a barrel, having closed higher on Thursday for a 7th consecutive day. Analysts describe COVID-19 as adding a new negative dimension to oil markets. We'll now review activities on the stock market after this break. Don't go away. The bulls were unable to maintain dominance at the Nigeria equities market as the bears took back charge of the market today, crashing the market value by 0.65%, as we can see right here. Now, this brought the all share index down to 27,388 basis points, while the market capitalization fell by 94 billion to close the week at 14.26 trillion naira. Now, today's loss can be attributed to losses recorded in large capitalized stocks such as Nestle Nigeria, Nigeria Breweries, Lafarge Africa, and Guarantee Trust Bank. But in all, it's been a very negative week for the NSE, with investors losing close to 200 billion naira in the past 5 days. Now, the market breadth also closed negative, with 20 losers and 14 gainers. Nestle Nigeria right here leads the pack of fallers, crashing by a massive 112 naira. Nigeria Breweries sits on the second spot of the losers chart with a drop in value, over 3 naira drop in value. UACN and Access Bank dropped by 6.6% and 3.09% respectively, earning them the third and fourth spot on the losers chart. But on the flip side, we have Julius Berger, Union Bank of Nigeria, Zenith Bank, and BUA Cement leading the pack of 14 equities that posted gains today with a combined 1 naira 7 kobo boost in their stock value. Let's now see the market summary. Over 421 equities were transacted today and were all valued at 5.5 billion naira, and they were all transacted in 4,423 deals. Now, outside Nigeria to the foreign scene, the FTSE, Dow, and Nikkei are all closing negative. The FTSE and Dow Jones closed negative yesterday, while the Nikkei posted gains. But today, they are all falling by 0.57%. That's for the FTSE, 0.74% for the Dow Jones, and 0.39% for the Nikkei. And that is from the world of business. And Aneta will be right back with the rest of the news.
We're going to break now, and we'll be right back. Israel has confirmed its first coronavirus case on Friday. The state broadcaster says the case was confirmed in a woman who returned with 10 other citizens from the Diamond Princess cruise ship off Japan's coast. Medical examination, however, showed that 10 other citizens who returned home with the infected woman were clear of the coronavirus. All of the returnees have now been quarantined. Meanwhile, Lebanon has announced the first coronavirus case in the country on Friday. The country's health ministry clarified that the patient is a 45-year-old woman who arrived to the Western Asian country via plane from Iran's province of Qom, a region where coronavirus cases were recently confirmed. Lesotho's Prime Minister Thomas Thabane failed to appear in court on Friday in connection with the killing of his first wife. According to his son, Potlako, the Prime Minister had traveled to South Africa for medical purposes. Thabane's wife, Lupolio Thabane, was shot dead in June 2017 near her home in the capital, Maseru, 2 days before he took office. Police said on Thursday that the 80-year-old leader was to be charged with the murder. Lipelo and Thabane had been going through an acrimonious divorce at the time of her death when an unknown assailant shot her dead in her car. And out to sports news, Nigeria's Super Eagles retained their 31st position in the latest FIFA rankings for the month of February. The latest ranking was released on Thursday. In Africa, the Super Eagles maintained their third position, while Tunisia at 27th in the world and second on the continent behind Senegal, who is Africa's #1 team and at 20th in the world. Meanwhile, Belgium retained #1 spot in the world with world champions France following the second place and Brazil occupying the third position, while England and Uruguay are 4th and 5th respectively. China will play their 2020 World Cup qualifiers against Maldives and Guam behind closed doors in Thailand due to the coronavirus outbreak. In a statement on Friday, the Chinese Football Association, CFA, said the Thai government asked that both games take place without any fans because of the coronavirus. China are in danger of missing out on the Qatar 2022 World Cup because they were second in qualifying Group A, 8 points behind leaders Syria. Only one team automatically goes through to the next qualifying stage for Qatar. And that's it on News Now on TV360 Nigeria. Thanks for watching.